Hello. What do you call them? Call us Christina Pinkies, right?
Yeah, pinkies, pink ladies, pinkies.
Hi, everyone.
Hi all.
We're all
Hi.
here. We're here to talk about this amazing episode. Oh my gosh. I can't wait. I can't wait for us to dive in.
I can't believe this is like the penultimate episode. We've only got
I
one.
can't believe there's only one episode left.
Yeah.
I know. I know. It's
What are we
crazy.
gonna do?
So, in this episode, after we recap, I'm going to show, I always put some pop culture. I think what I put in today was a little funny. Um, and then we're going to do predictions at the end. So I can't wait to hear. And we also have some trivia, right? Did you do any quotes, Kathy? I
No.
did one. And Christina, you did one?
I did one, yeah.
Yeah, let's see if they can
Maybe
fit.
I'll come up with one by the time we get to that.
Okay, that's no biggie. It was just something fun to throw out. All right, who wants to start first? Like, holy, my goodness. Well, that's a lot happened. I felt like a lot of things started and happened in season in episode 8, and then in episode 9, it was a lot of undoing and making up for every one of those crazy
Yeah.
things that happened. Yeah. So anyway,
I have no idea where they're going with this. I mean, you've got a truth this episode, and then like you just said, the next episode, they unwind that and start new stuff. And I'm just at this point, I'm along for the ride. I used to be a really good predictor,
I know.
I don't know where they're going with this.
yeah.
Well, I truthfully thought that they were going to get married. And then I saw the BTS photos. And I think in one picture, it's like almost like a dream sequence of it's like a black and white picture. Chris is sitting on the couch reading the newspaper, and she looks like, a hot mess mother.
Stereotypical, yeah.
And so, yeah, she looks like she's just stressed out. So I don't know. Maybe she's starting to like rethink this whole thing and thinking that I don't know if I'm really ready for this,
I was thinking the same thing, that maybe
But-
she will rethink it and feel like maybe I'm making a mistake here.
Yeah.
That
I mean, and she loves him, and he loves her. But maybe, they will come to terms and say, let's wait till after graduation,
I can live with that.
Yeah.
I
So could I. Yeah, so could I.
I love that I mean, it's funny how they do it, but little by little you saw we had this sleazy impression of him in the very beginning by that look he would give her, all
Yeah.
of that dialogue that happened with no dialogue, right?
Right.
And then the more we get to know him and see them together, we realize that he isn't as sleazy as he could be. This is a touchy subject. I understand people are freaking out saying he's a groomer and all that. I get it, but we also have to remember the time.
I can see that if he was maybe doing that with other girls in the school, okay?
Yeah.
If he was eyeballing other girls in the school and had, things going on with them, I can see where they would be like, oh, this guy. But he's not like that. He's generally really has strong feelings for her. And
They also made a point of saying that when she showed up at his door at the end of the last episode, nothing happened. I mean, I think he was a comfort to her.
Yeah.
Sweet to her, but did not take advantage.
Yeah, because he said, I realize you're, a nice Catholic girl. So, I mean, that there, showed me that he hasn't done anything.
Right.
And then I liked the part where they were teasing each other, where she's like, oh, it feels like old times and I hated those books. And he's like, what? You hated them? You must have really liked me.
Oh, I know. That was so cute.
That was cute. Like, kind of like, and when they zero in on his face, my goodness, Chris McNally has always said that he wears the beard because if he doesn't wear the beard, he looks like he's 12. And it is so true. It really makes him look super youthful, like at least 10 years more than, like about 10 years younger than what he really is in real
But that
life.
works for this role. Can you imagine him with the beard playing Mr.
No.
Douglas? Wouldn't work.
Oh, no. Yeah, you're right. It wouldn't.
No. And then the part where we were saying where she was having that sort of like that daydream with Christina, like you said, with the black
Yeah.
and white, and she's thinking about what her life would be like. It kind of reminded me of, well, a lot of it reminded me of the mom scene. Remember when the moms came
Yes.
in and then they had those panels? Well, that's what that was part of, that panel scene. I think it was that, because there was 2 times that she was singing, but there was the one where all the girls got together and they were talking about when they all got what they wanted, but it really wasn't what they wanted. All
Right.
4 of them were like, "Oh, geez, it's not what we thought," and which is life, right?
Right. Yeah.
Babies, you're little babies. You always think you know, right? But and you're grown up,
Or
and
at
then
least
you
not
realize,
yet.
yeah,
Live your
yeah,
life and figure out what you want.
yeah. So they're. I actually, I love that song, that whole song and number that they did. I thought it was really good. I
Yeah.
like. This is no cut to the actress that is Jane, but when she sings, I often cannot understand what she is saying. She's a gorgeous voice, but I think it has to do with however, when they go in and do the whole ADR and whatever else, and however
Right. Yeah.
it's very hard to hear, or not hear, but understand, like enunciation, I think is what it is. So I hope they fix that for next season, for season 2, Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So what was a standout? What else?
I like Nancy finally giving Potato a break, even though she tried to claw it back, but it's like, nah, too late. You already told him.
Yeah. And Nancy's always been, throughout this whole season, she's always been the one that makes sure they look out for each other. And I think because she's been starving for real friends and found that in the girls. And like it reminds me of when she and Cynthia were part of the play, and she saw what went down with Cynthia. So when she was hurt and ran off, she made sure she got the other girls, and they said, "She needs us. We need to." And I like that. And then there's that part where, in the very beginning, where it's raining, and it's like a day or 2 after, all weekend, the parents said she's been calling her friends and they're not
Yeah.
responding, and she was heartbroken. And I kept thinking, okay, she is like the glue that keeps them together, because she's in love. Well, I loved when she said at the end she was in love with them, like them being friends, and I was like, I identified with that. I think that might be why I like it. Like my girlfriends, and that we grew up together. I love that our friendship is there and we're still there for each other right at this moment. I was always wanted to make sure we stayed, together. So I get what she
Like
was.
sisters.
Yeah. It was important.
She's the glue that holds them together, but she's also the, I don't know what you call it, that could tear them apart, because she's too blunt.
And because she doesn't know how to be a friend, she's learning. And that's what they said to her.
Yeah, she's too honest. Nobody wants to hear all that stuff. It was true, but
And,
they didn't really appreciate hearing it from her.
Her parents indulge her, it seems like,
Well, they're afraid of her. They said they're afraid of her.
I know. And she had some strange things happen to her as a young girl. Remember, in internment camp. Yeah. So who knows, like where that's coming from, the need to want to fit in. I remember I loved what she said to Wally when she explained what had happened to her. So she is a dark character, but I like that she's dark. She's weird. She's so weird and quirky, but I like her.
Yeah,
I do too.
Good for her.
Yeah. Yes.
Because he's very laid back. He's very even though he's a T-bird, he's very very balanced. He seemed to be the most well-adjusted and mature of all the T-birds.
I agree with that.
He's very nurturing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I love that Cynthia and Shy Guy Edward have been friends since the 4th grade.
Yeah, I know. That's so cute. And I think, that might be one of the reasons why they've kind of felt a little bit uncomfortable kissing, because, they've been friends for so long.
Yeah. Shy Guy thought he liked her, but I really think that in the very beginning, remember, he was kind of hinting like, you wear my jacket. I think she was safe for him to like.
Right. Yeah.
Because it was his friend. And if he had to, because everybody else was, but it still didn't feel right for him. Kathy, you had a theory about that. You were wondering if maybe he was questioning his sexuality or if it was something else. Do you think he is questioning his sexuality?
I think even more so, because she described her feelings about how she's not really comfortable, and he was kind of echoing that. He said, "Yep, I feel exactly the same way," or words to that effect. So I think
Yeah, somebody else was saying that they thought he was
wondering
going the other way. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know.
But do you know what I love? That they did that. They made him the one that is the boxer, and the father wants him all rough and tumble, and he's going to turn out to not want. He doesn't like any of it. He hates fighting. That's like being raised with a family of police officers, and you're afraid of the gun. You know what I mean? Like that kind of yeah.
I'm very pleased that they had the discussion, and they just put it out there, and they put it to bed, and resolved their feelings, explained their feelings.
Yeah, that they made up. I was really happy that how they did it. I thought it was really cute.
It was good. And then I laughed because Cynthia kills me. So Cynthia runs out there and gets in the car with Gil, and they're having, he's got like a cooler kind of in his glove
box.
I know, drinking beers. And she's like, oh, I didn't want to hear about feelings anymore. Feelings. I can't take it. And then that's all he wanted to talk about was his feelings.
Yeah.
That was
Then they changed it to their heart.
Yeah, I know.
What did you guys think of the conversation with Richie and Susan?
You mean not Richie and Susan? What's his name? What? No, it's
Buddy.
Buddy.
Oh, Buddy.
We all had all of us. All three of us had a moment. We were all like, eh. So I love the conversation that Buddy had with Susan. I thought how mature, because they're that age, their sex life has been exposed, and he says to her, "Thank you for being my first." And I was like,
"That was a little cold."
No, she was okay. No, I didn't think it was cold.
I didn't think so. No.
No. I thought it was they're friends. They've been there for each other. The whole
Maybe
time.
I'm thinking of it in context of what I know that Buddy doesn't know.
Oh, this is true.
That may be how I was filtering it.
Yeah, I know. So, Lillian is saying that. You're right. I know. I said I wasn't going to star anything, but I want to put some of their comments up there, Kathy. It's your job.
I thought Buddy doesn't know about the pregnancy.
He doesn't.
Right, he doesn't. So he's only referring to as going all the way, as how they would put it.
Yeah. Now, what about the storyline with Mr. he looks so handsome in this episode, Danny Mac.
Yeah, he does.
He looks the principal, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He looks so handsome. And Jane had an idea for him, and he's like, no. But I think that he's going to ask for her help. I think he might do what she had suggested, because she suggested that a way for him to get to be, because Buddy's father's like, forget it. We're done, and lose my number, which I thought was hilarious. Yeah. That's something we say now. Lose my number. He stomps out. And I like that he's being more of a dad now. And Principal Nicholson is upset because he wants to be superintendent, and he's like, forget that, do that on your own. But then Jane comes to him and has an idea, so he pulls the shade back up to listen. Then he doesn't like her idea, so he puts the shade back down. He's got like one of the best characters to play.
I know.
But I think because her idea was for him to figure out how to rehabilitate them, and he's like, nobody wants that, but I think he's gonna try that. I can't imagine that both Buddy and Richie won't be there. I can't imagine that. Both of them. I could see maybe Richie off at military school, and eventually he comes back. I could see something like that. But I think Buddy will be back. That's just my opinion. But that's
I think both of them would be back. I can't see them. I mean, she's made it clear that I think she made it clear that Richie is her choice, right?
It is. Yeah.
And Buddy, I don't know. Do you guys think there still might be a spark there with him and Susan, or are they just
I
buddies?
don't think so. I think he's starting to like Hazel.
Well, that's unfortunate since Hazel now has started to like Wally. I mean,
don't know. I don't know. I think he might just be there because he's there and she really has feelings for, because they kind of say we know each other.
Yeah.
I think she had feelings for Buddy when she first moved to town. But I think ever since the Romeo and Juliet, and Wally just came out and told her he liked her, and she kind of locked eyes with him. And besides which, they've already done a choreographed song and dance number with backup singers down the street. So that's pretty much a given.
Okay. All right. So she's going to be getting the veil and the gown soon, you think?
You never know.
Do you want to share some of our friends out here, some of their ideas before we go on?
Sure.
Are you going to do that, Kathy, or you want me to?
I don't think I can. Can I
share? I think you can share. Yeah. Let's see. She's trying.
Show.
There you go.
I don't know how to do that. So
that's okay.
Lillian says she's still uncomfortable with Olivia and Mr. Daniels because Olivia's only 16. Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
A lot of people are.
Yeah, it kind of gave me pause, but I feel better that they haven't actually consummated their relationship.
Right.
So far, he seems very respectful, and I'm hoping. I mean, I like them as a couple, and I'm hoping they will be able to, snatch the victory from the jaws of defeat by just having him, say, you know what, we need to wait. You're too young. Let's wait a few years for graduation, and if we still feel the same way, we'll pursue.
Yeah, I think that's how it's going to go.
Yeah,
I do.
Exactly what the terms were with her parents. It said, yeah, they agree, but they could have said, well, yeah, we agree, but after she turns 18.
Right.
So I don't know about that one.
Well,
let's hit it.
They have that, getting back to it, they have that conversation where she's like, I'd have to drop out of school. And he doesn't say the word you would. He says, doesn't say traditionally or usually, or I forget what he says, but it's not like you would have to. But
yeah.
Like, maybe. And then she's like, you could lose your job. And he's like, but there are other jobs,
Right.
I love the idea. I feel like they missed the opportunity, Kathy. I love the idea that they did it in secret.
I know. That would have been my favorite.
I would have been okay even if the parents knew, but she didn't share it with anybody else and they had to sneak around.
Yeah.
Even the other pinks, yeah.
Yeah, I would have loved that. Yeah, because that could have been a whole conflict where the girls are so close, and when it all comes out one day,
why is Olivia being so secretive? Yeah. Olivia really is acting trampy. She got caught,
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for Gil if that's the case, because Gil, is a really nice guy, and I know he loves her too, or likes her, been swooning on her, but.
I think he's kind of disillusioned though now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think right now he's suffering with what he thinks is a broken heart. I think he's too young to really be brokenhearted. I don't think he was really in love because he doesn't know what that is yet.
Yeah. Now Paula has a different. Yeah. I think there might be more move. They might be
a move forward.
Because the girls are at a carnival, which normally happens at the end of the school year. I just hope if there is a season 2 that Chris comes back as Mr. Daniels. You think it's going to, I just think it's weird. It shouldn't, then it's a big lapse of time. Like that, a gap. I would be disappointed in that story writing.
Yeah. I would too.
As much as I love the stories and the storylines and the actors and all that good stuff, I'm not sure where they would go in season 2. I'm really curious about that. If they do a season 2, is it just going to be a continuation of what they've been doing? I was reading an article that talked about that this takes place 4 years before original Grease.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering where they're headed. Are they going to continue again with this storyline, or are they going to maybe bring in Fran and Betty and just start blending them in the lead up to the new Pink Ladies? You know what I mean?
I think they're going to continue with the storyline that's going on now.
But do you think they're going to make Betty?
I think they might add more people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they might add more people if there's a second season, but I think they're going to continue with the story.
Well, what would they continue with?
Well, first of all, they probably continue between Mr. Daniels and Olivia, Jane and Richie, or Buddy, or whoever Jane's gonna pick.
I feel like we're going to get introduced to we're rolling into our predictions here. I feel like there's an opportunity for them to connect it to some of the characters that we already know. I mean, we know there's that link with Franny.
Yeah, Frenchie.
And comes Frenchie, and that link with Gil. He has
Betty, who becomes Rizzo.
Betty, yes. So I see that, but there has to be more than just that, because they're in 4 years. There's all those. There's Danny, and there's all the there's other girls there, and then other guys that haven't been mentioned yet. So I feel like we're going to get introduced to a few more people. And I saw that wonderful opportunity for the assistant to come in, because that's what Mrs. What is her name on the show? I forgot what it is. The vice principal. That's what she demanded. Remember, she said, she demanded that she get an assistant.
Right.
Well, that actually what you just said, Roxanne, is pretty much what I was saying, only you were being much more articulate about it, that they're going to start incorporating more of the official Grease characters.
Yes. I think they're going to slowly start
in time, because I'm not sure what's left, depending on what happens in episode 10. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we don't know.
There's more to explore. I don't know if Jane will make a decision. I don't know what to expect from episode 10. I have no clue.
Or if Richie's even going to come back, or I mean, we don't know.
Yeah.
So it's all up in the air till.
And that's the other thing. Did they? I mean, unless the producers know something and they're just keeping it close to the vest, they went into episode 10, hopefully, as a series finale as well as a season finale, and maybe they left some wiggle room in case they got a season 2, or did they just assume it's going to be chop chop, that's the end of it, and we'll come up with new storylines for season 2? I have no idea what to expect.
Usually, I mean, although we don't get notice and they keep us hanging and dangling for a while, I think they do that to make a buildup of suspense. Usually they know. I mean, by the time this has aired, and I know they have to look at
because they have to do contracts and stuff,
right? And they have to pay attention to the ratings, But then again, they don't have to pay attention to the ratings that much, because this is streaming. It's a little, with all the new streaming systems, it's a little different. You know what I mean? It's not built up on certain commercials and whatnot. So it's not what we're used to. And it's funny.
The whole writer's strike.
Right. And that's a whole. But
yeah, that's another thing.
And you know what's funny? I bring this up all the time, and the average person just can't grasp it, because you and I'm not a Nielsen's person. I don't work for Nielsen. And I don't know if you two women do, but you wouldn't be able to reveal it anyway. So all of us watching, people act like that's us, but we're not the ratings. It's the Nielsen ratings. It's specific people being paid with certain demographics and whatnot. And people don't get that. They think it's us, all of us watching. We might have somebody who's a Nielsen person in here. I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, I think the whole Nielsen thing has now been tempered, though.
Yes.
Because we're watching things so differently. We're watching streams, we're watching DVRs, And
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure that if they haven't come up with a way to track that, they soon will. But
Right.
that all plays in the role. So we may all be contributing to the ratings unknowingly, just every time, I get up on Saturday morning and I see the episode from the previous Thursday. And then you've got people who watch it multiple times. How does that affect, the ratings, if at all? So,
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
mm-mm.
There's some striking information here. Like I'm gonna share. It says, unless the scripts are already written, how will the writer's strike affect season 2? It won't happen unless it's already written, because we already.
It'd be delayed.
Yeah,
Right.
I talked to John Christian Plummer, and he was telling us about the strike, and um, there might already be scripts written, and you go into this, like, you go into the season, like, for instance, with, I'm just going to put this out there, like with When Calls the Heart, it already is probably written, ready to go, but now that they're on set, you can't call and do any rewrite or ask any questions or anything, because the writers are on strike and they're not going to work for free.
Yeah.
So it can hold up stuff, but hopefully that will be resolved. I know someone said there's a rumor of the actors strike. There's only an actors, you only strike if your contract is up for negotiations, and I don't know that any of their contracts are. That you strike when you don't just strike randomly, you strike because your contract is up for negotiate. You're negotiating your new contract, it's up, and you can't come to the table to with a decision after so many attempts, then you strike. So I don't know about that. I don't know anything.
Strike is more of an organizational thing, though.
It is, but they're saying the actors are going to strike, like the Actors Guild. But the Actors Guild would only be striking because they've been sitting in negotiations for a new contract and it hasn't worked. It's not like, oh, you're striking, so we're going to stop. Where it doesn't work that way. They think to their contracts if they did that.
I think the person may be referring to the fact that some of the actors are supporting
the
writer's strike, and so some actors. I remember this from last time. They won't cross the picket line. So, you know, not that there's much for them to do anyway if there are no scripts to,
Well, John was also saying that while they're out there, the Teamsters who are coming in with equipment and all that, they won't cross the picket line, so they're not delivering anything.
Exactly.
So, I mean, hoping that they'll, they'll feel it. Now, they might march, they might stand out in solidarity like the teachers union in New Jersey did. Like, you know what I mean? Like the teachers, we can't strike, but our bigwigs that are for the state, they were there, marching and standing with them. So, I mean, that's a whole different story. Let's see.
But the bottom line is the writer's strike could delay or complicate things, because I remember the last time also the writer's strike, it went on for so long that contractual timetables were up, and I'm no longer bound to this because my contract was up August 30th and the writer's strike is still on, so bye-bye. By the time they were ready to start rolling again, some of the actors weren't available. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope they get this settled.
Yeah, so do I.
I just want to be, I'm looking at my notes and just some fun things that I love that they sprinkle in that you have to pay attention. Do you know when they were doing the home ec scene?
Oh, yeah.
Nancy,
what a home ec room. My goodness.
I know. I love it. I love it. But wait, I love this. Nancy's holding the doll with the broken neck and it's flopping around. And she's like, not paying. I was like, oh my God, that's hilarious. Just like little things that you want to pay attention to. And I love when the Vice Principal McGee's like trying to get that, I'm going to get in there. I know you're in there. And you open the door and it's all the teachers.
Yeah.
Having a blast. And getting invited in.
They said it's 3. She said, you should be ashamed of yourself to talk to the union. Because it was 3:45. Oh my gosh, that kind of stuff. Just, I loved all those little details and I love that sense of humor. Can we talk? I want to share something. I mean, if you all, I want to hear what everybody else is saying over there, but I want to add this real quick. So, so this and here, this scene, okay, because she's going to leave. She's going from New York.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of when Frenchie was leaving, right? And she did the whole beauty school dropout thing. And who sang and who sang with her,
Yeah.
right?
Who
Okay.
was the character? I mean, who was the actor?
This isn't an actor. I was wondering if people realized who he was. So this is Justin Trainer, a trainer, and he does all the. He's a very famous lyricist, I guess is what we could, songwriter and singer performer, and he's written the music for them.
Yes. Yeah, he has.
And so he got, like, remember, the Grease is the word, is, was Frankie. Well, now they have him in there, and he was in her scene. And that big needle, she stabs him in the heart at the end.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Well, that's who this is. I said, oh, look, they gave that part to him, which was hilarious. Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to share that because I didn't know if people realized who that was. And the scene looked very much like this one.
I know, that was so funny.
Dropout, wasn't it?
Beauty school dropout.
Yeah. And it was the angels. He was her beauty school angel, like singing to her, and
Yep.
and the same with him. He was her angel, although he was more like the devil with the things he was laughing and saying. It was like a nightmare.
Yeah.
What's Paula saying? Honestly, not a big fan of the song, but the callback was nice. Yes, I didn't like the song either.
I wasn't crazy, but all the other songs on that show, I truly, truly loved.
Arlene loved the Scepter of the Needle. He reminded me of David Bowie. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that's it.
You know what? Even on a good day, he kind of looks like David Bowie, the way he wears his makeup and how he
Yeah, that's what I was kind of picturing him
he
trying to be.
He is a genius.
Yeah, the music is nice, and I like the choreography, all of
Yeah.
that. But I don't think it will stand the test of time. The way the numbers from Grease, I can still sing the songs from Grease, and I can't.
Oh, yes.
But I can picture them in my head. I
Yeah.
mean, I've watched that movie dozens and dozens and dozens of times, and those were real. I don't know if you call them classics. That may be going too far, but man, they were. Didn't most of them hit the charts?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
They did.
see this. That.
I love that song. All right. Just throwing out what our friends are saying. Chris, you did last week. You mentioned that on Olivia turned 17 on April 22nd. Yes. She's 17 soon. You are correct, as is Richie, because they are 11 minutes apart. Twins. Arlene, the Actors Union is doing a vote. Saw Julie Gonzalo vote to strike on her Instagram. Again, you don't just strike to strike. You have to be. They have to be negotiating their contract too. Maybe, I don't know. I have
It could be for better working conditions, or
yeah.
I mean, maybe they've got some issues that they want to get resolved.
Yeah. Let's see. Someone said that. Yes, that's them asking each other if someone's birthday. Yes, Chris said it. Yes. And you are correct. She will be 17. Yeah. And Lillian saying that many actors are supporting the striking writers. Even if the scripts are written, the actors may refuse to work. If you have a contract, you cannot refuse to work, though. The contract works both ways, both sides. So they can't refuse to work.
They can refuse to cross the picket line.
Yeah.
Yep. They sure can.
True. Yeah. Oh,
I saw Hoffa. I know.
No, that I'm like, yeah, but you have to understand, what if where you're to film there isn't a picket line?
Oh, yeah. I'd have a hard time believing that these writers aren't everywhere at this point.
Yeah. There's a lot of writers that are supporting and going.
And they know where the sets are going to be. Even
a lot of them go there and help support and help, cheer them on and stuff. So
yeah,
I've seen it on Instagram.
I'm going to address this. I was going to just totally ignore it, but I'm going to address it. Oh, I like this about him, that they're talking more about Mr. Daniels. Oh, shy guy. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me address this and then we'll go back to, there's a lot of other things we didn't talk about that they have in there that I think are pretty good. Or not pretty good. They are good. So getting back to, I'm sorry, let me take that off. The thing about, so someone in there said that there was a rumor that the actor who plays Richie is leaving the show. And that happened to wind up, I don't know where else it is because I've seen it nowhere else except someone came on to the fan page and started posting it. And I said that was just, it wasn't official. Nobody made that announcement anywhere. So until it's official, we'll consider it to be a rumor. Even if somebody has inside information, it's still not official. And
Right.
I don't know. I mean, there's a possibility
And
that
if it's not true, it could be wrecking somebody's
Yeah.
career. So
A big, yeah. And it could also, be upsetting some huge Richie fans, so.
right. So it's not for us to say.
Yeah. Yes, I agree with that. I mean, we don't want to post anything that's not true.
Yeah. Not to get into union stuff, Paula, but you're talking to somebody here that's like a big no, absolutely not. If you want, if anybody here wants more info, so we don't have to talk about the union strike here, you should see my interview with John Christian Plummer. We talk about it and what they're asking for. And that is the number one thing that people say, that, oh, you're being selfish. That when someone goes to strike,
Yeah.
someone goes to strike, you have to know that they're not selfish. They're done. They can't do it any other way. And they're not the people who are being selfish because now they have no pay. Okay. And some unions, you get like a certain tiny percentage of whatever they'll give you because they have it, through union dues and whatnot, but it's nothing compared to what they normally would get. So it's not a matter of somebody looking selfish. If you watch that interview, you will see that there are billions of dollars on the other side.
this country would not have a middle class if it weren't for unions
Yeah.
and people who had the courage to strike, despite the fact that they were getting the hell beat out of them.
Yes.
Killed and it's
Yes.
yeah. Google or look at some of the history and watch the interview with John Christopher Plummer. Who is he related to the Sound of Music guy?
I don't know. I didn't ask him that. That's funny. He does. His wife is she's an actor. He has a son, Charlie Plummer, who is an actor. They've worked on things together. He's in the industry. Very, very brilliant and extremely knowledgeable and very much, very, very talented. All right. So there were some cool things in here that I wanted to look at. I want to see this whole 5-year thing. That there's no such thing. We don't know how many years their contracts are. That's a misconception. Something that had to do with Daniel Lissing years ago. You don't know what people's contracts. You don't know if they're year to year, 5 years. That's some misconception thing. It's once somebody says something and it's out there, you can never erase it. It reminds me of my kiddos when I'm in front of the room and if I say a slip accidentally and it's a mistake, like, oh, if you do that, you must for instance, you must put your name on the left-hand side. Wait a minute. I'm so sorry. No. It's the right-hand side. They'll all think of it as the left because it's what I came out of. You know what I mean? So when little things are out there, we can't stop surmising and stirring pots. Kathy, someone's agreeing with you, so we got to put this up there.
Oh, what are you agreeing with me on?
Dan, I agree, Kathy, particularly because of what Roxanne said about being able to understand the lyrics.
The music not being as classic as from the original movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Bee Gees. Okay.
That was Saturday Night Fever.
I know. Frankie Valli. Let's see. Chris said he likes the When Calls a Heart shooting schedule because, oh, I'm sorry. I'll take that off because it's about When Calls a Heart. All right. Oh, wait. That was just a joke.
Folks, let me just say this. I do not know where Jimmy Hoffa is buried.
Arlene, many of the original songs from Grease, the movie, were written by her lyricist, Hopelessly Devoted, and Sandra Dee were written specifically for her. They weren't in the Broadway show. Yes, you are correct.
Fun fact, Hopelessly Devoted was actually an afterthought.
Yeah.
After the movie was pretty much done.
Yes.
They wanted something to showcase Olivia. And so they brought her back and just filmed that one segment.
Yeah, and I love that
I
song.
love the song. Oh my
And
gosh.
then she's writing the letter and she puts it in the pool and she goes like that.
Oh, I know.
But I love the song with Sandra Dee too, because I loved Rizzo in that movie. She was just so cool.
Everyone used to think I looked like her back in the day.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
I had my hair like hers back in the day.
Yeah.
And so everyone always thought, and it was real dark, and everyone thought, oh, you're Rizzo. I'm like, oh gosh, please no.
All right, look. I loved Olivia's song, I'm in Love, or Am I Just Afraid to Be Alone? I know I loved it too. I thought
Yes, that was a really good one.
All right.
Okay. There was a lot of good ones.
Now, people, I'm going to post. This is a chance where people can go take a break, go to the bathroom, do whatever. I'm looking to see if we saw anything that, nope, everything's there. All my little notes, your notes. We're going to make our predictions. We're going to just go down the line and make all our predictions. But I want everybody to put their predictions in the comments too. Wait a minute. Who's got a quote and see if we can make people guess? Because I'm going to do my pop culture afterwards.
I have one. You want me to do one?
Yeah.
Who said it?
Yeah. Let's see if they can guess who said
it. Okay. Little advice. When the gossip train gets going around here, there's no going back to the station. So who said that?
Yes. Who said that?
One more time.
Go ahead.
Little advice. When the gossip train gets going around here, there's no going back to the station.
Okay, we're getting folks saying Olivia.
Yes. That was to Olivia to Jane Unveiled Futures, right? And
yes.
She was reading.
Yes. Yeah. I loved that saying. I don't know why, but I just thought that was so cool.
I love that saying too. And then it made me feel sad for her and defeated. Like she was defeated, but then her story began, right? I have a quote. I got to put it down. You're all going to know what it is, but I wanted to write it down word for word, but it's so funny because I think it already came up. All right. Hold on. He's okay. It's, I wouldn't dream of it. I know you are a good Catholic girl. That was my quote. And everyone's going to know because we talked about that already. Mr. Daniels.
Well, yeah.
You just told the answer.
Pardon me?
You just told the answer.
Well, they know it. We already said it earlier.
Yeah, we were already talking about that, Kathy.
Yeah. So now I put up some slides. Okay. So I always do pop culture. So this time it was toys. And I picked the popular toys because I thought these kids are kids. They should have played with the toys a little bit more when they were like in elementary school, middle school, because they think they're grown and then they're trying to make these big decisions and it's just chaotic and chaos. So I was like, I'm going to go with the toys. So what do you think were the most popular toys of the 50s? What do you think, Kathy, Christina, and then our friends out here?
Hula hoop.
A hula hoop. Okay. I'm putting that down. Someone said hula hoop. I mean, you said hula hoop. I'm going to put that down. What else?
I don't know if you would consider it a toy, a record player.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Yo-yo.
Was a lot of what the teenagers did back then was sit in the home and listen to the records.
Some people in here are saying Gumby and Pokey. That's true because it was a film. He was a film student, and it was like around 1953, I think.
Yeah.
And they made the bendable toy with it.
Yo-yo.
People are saying yo-yo and erector.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Yo-yos.
agreeing with that, but I didn't see it as like top in the top. Like iconic. I'm not saying it's wrong. Slinky was another one I found.
Yeah, Slinky.
Yeah.
Lincoln
Barbie
Logs.
dolls did not come out till 1959. That was
What
when
about Barbie?
that's 1959.
Oh, okay.
Barbie came, yeah. Cut out paper dolls. I can do one better with that. There was a husband wife team. They were like art, like remind me of Chris McNally's parents. You know, they were architectural designers, like in the houses and whatnot. And they had this really cool kind of almost like contact paper, but it didn't stick and rip up things with contact paper, right? And you can put it down and then put it on your wall and peel it back off. And then they got to ideas and make it better than a paper doll, and they came out with color forms. Yep. Color forms. Then you spin it down.
Mr. Potato Head.
Mr. Potato. Oh, yes, correct. Mr. Potato Head.
What about Light Bright? Was that back then?
No, I think that was a little later. Yeah. Lincoln Logs. Now, Lincoln Logs had been around way before the 50s. However, they kept upgrading them and upgrading them. They were a big 50s toys. So let me see what a lot of you got them. Silly Putty. Yes. And Silly Putty was like a mistake.
I love Silly Putty.
There's Gumby and Pokey. And then the Slinky and the Hula Hoop. And then, oh, you know what? I should take off.
Slingshot. Somebody said Slingshot.
Maybe. Slingshot had been around.
Oh, Play-Doh. I forgot about Play-Doh.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that that's wrong. These are just like the top through the ages. Play-Doh was major. It was like the bestseller year after year.
Oh, yeah.
I forget, was it Play-Doh? No, I think it was Silly Putty was some kind of wallpaper paste or some kind of paste, and they didn't, I don't know. They trying to figure out what to do with it, and that's how that kind of thing came about. And then someone said Lincoln Logs and Mr. Potato Head. Cool. And Mr.
Trucks that the little boys used to play with.
Pardon me?
The trucks, the little toy trucks.
Yes, toy trucks and Matchbox.
Tonka toys.
Yes. And there's plastic, his little figures, they were very popular. And that was one of the color forms of the 1950s was the Popeye color forms. And then we have the two different dolls, the Tears, and the heck was the other one called? Something Sweet Susie. But one of the things that I loved at the top was a cap gun. And believe it or not, right after the Civil War, they were trying to figure out what to do with some of these guns. So they were around all that time, and they turned it into a toy. And if you ever had one of them, I did. I had two. They were heavy, and cowboy westerns were very popular, started to grow more.
Yeah.
That part was very, very heavy. And there's that part that you could latch back, and then the handle was kind of solid, and you put the little cap on it. And when you pulled the trigger, it snapped and made like a sound. And then there was also, I love my cap guns. And then also, Fisher Price came out with the People. They started off with 3 little firemen in a fire truck. And then this one came later. This was in the middle of the year. It was called Speed Flyer or something like, I forget. But it's an airplane with a little wooden person in it. Oh my gosh. And everybody's saying all the things that they could think of. That's cool.
I have to take a moment for a public service announcement.
Go ahead.
Avis said BB guns, and I have to say, Avis, no, because you'll shoot your eye out. Back to your regular programming.
Okay.
Oh my God. Oh God.
Good one, Kathy.
We all had guns, and they had Tiny Tears doll. Yep, it wet and cried and all that. Betsy Wetsy was later, though. Betsy Wetsy was later. Tiny Tears was first.
And the bane of my existence in 1959, Chatty Cathy. I did not live that one down until I was in high school.
Oh my God. They have Tinker Toys in there. I just love it. Spacemen, ray guns. I love it. They're saying all of them. That's cool.
And if you've got any of these still around in your attic, check it out. Maybe worth something.
You know, you were saying about the Chatty Cathy. I had that Christina doll where you could pull like her hair. Pull her hair out. It was like this hole in her head, and you could pull her hair out. And I still have that doll.
Oh, wow.
I do. I have, my father bought me this doll. The head was real big and the body was little.
Yeah.
And you pulled the head and had a thing, and she had dark little pixie hair. And it said stuff like, "Here comes my body," and her body would go up. And "I lost my head over you." Like that was what
Yeah.
her voice was like. It still works, and I have it to this day. I looked it up,
Oh,
and it's
creepy though.
Yeah.
I know,
Another doll I had was Mrs. Beasley, and that thing
Oh, yeah.
freaked me out. Freaked me out because there was like a little thingy on the side of it, and it said like certain things that she's saying.
There.
Oh yeah, freaked me out.
I know. All right, so let's go with this straight up now, everybody, with the predictions. Let's go with the pink ladies. Let's go with like Nancy. What do we predict is going to happen in Nancy's future?
I think Nancy is going to calm down and fall into a very natural, comfortable relationship with Potato, and he's going to balance her out. They're going to balance each other out.
I also expect her to actually do something with herself with fashion. And I think that he would be right there with her. He would go with her to New York or whatever adventure she wanted to go on.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. Well, and, she was talking to the principal, I think, or she was saying something about she wanted to design the uniforms.
Yes.
So I think she's going to do something along that line, and
okay,
that
would be cool. I have to say, this is just a spoiler, so plug your ears if you want. When I looked in the database, there's an extra that's on, and she's playing the St. Bernadette's girl. So we're going to see St. Bernadette's somehow, some way. We're going to see them.
Oh.
Yeah. I saw that. But that's more like a spoiler. That's not part of my prediction. I'm not shocked though, because they mentioned them and all of a sudden now they're not. And we know that, that's like their rival or down the street.
Maybe Gil will go with one of them.
I don't know. Yeah.
Or with them.
Okay. What about Cynthia? What do you think is going to happen with Cynthia?
Oh, can I go?
Anybody? Yeah.
I think her and Lydia's gonna finally, come to terms with their feelings, and I think they're gonna actually get together and date or whatever. But I think they're gonna actually come to terms with how they feel, and I think they're gonna make it public.
You do?
I do. Yeah, I think she's going to at least confide in the pink ladies.
Okay.
I do. Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm wondering, I think the pink ladies will be like, okay. And just
exactly.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I think they would. I think they probably are ready.
But, they'll be like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. That
I think they already kind of suspect.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Now, what about a lot of them are saying, and we see what you're saying, like Nikki's saying, I think they'll finally come together.
Yeah.
Tanya says end up with Lydia. I see that too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what about Olivia?
I'd like her to keep her relationship with, I can't even say Leonard, with no offense to anyone who's got loved ones named Leonard, just doesn't seem to suit him.
No, it doesn't. You're right.
I think she will maintain her relationship, but I think she will rethink getting married at this point in her life. And I think she'll talk to him, and he may try to talk her out of it, and he'll finally say, you know what, if this is what you want, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then they'll just go from there.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that if she came to terms and said, I'm just not ready right now, but that's not necessarily a no. I just want to graduate first. And I think that he would probably, because he loves her and cares about her so much. And I think that he would be like, all right, that's great, because I just want you to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Tanya's saying that I think Mr. D will want her to finish because he admires her mind. And
Yes.
that's true.
Yes.
And I think, and Lillian saying she doesn't think there'll be a wedding. And I agree. I think that they won't have one yet. But Jan's saying something different. She thinks that Olivia will end up with Gil.
I don't see the feelings being there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paula says Olivia will transfer to St. Bernadette, I think. I don't think so. Why? So she could marry Mr. Daniels, but be in a different school? I don't know. I don't know. I know that I think she's going to be heartbroken because her brother isn't there. They shipped him off to military school.
If he actually goes.
Well, they put him on a bus. Who knows if he actually went, right? And I think Jane, the way she was looking, is going to find him.
Because didn't they? I'm having a Roxanne moment because she opened the door and we don't know who was behind it except for the rest of the viewing public who knew. But didn't they do something in Thursday's episode where the boys could get reinstated? They were unexpelled.
She said that she knew of a way, and she even mentioned
that's what's going to happen. They're going to be unexpelled, and nobody's going to military school, and nobody's going to neither Buddy or Richie. I think they'll both stay at Rydell.
Yeah. And Chris had said this earlier. They're both mature and will approach it in that fashion and have her finish
high school
and go on to college. And I really agree with that.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Olivia and Mr. Daniels won't get married, but will continue their relationship. They will get married after she graduates. Yep, that's what many of us are thinking. Okay. How about Jane? Like, what in the world? I feel like what happened to Jane's storyline? It was so strong, and then it became, I don't know, everybody else's storyline.
I know. I know. I agree with that. I think that she's going to probably start doing better things like with the school, because she's right now, she's kind of leery about being the president. I'm not really sure about that role. And I think she's going to start stepping up and doing some better things for the school. And
sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm thinking about the original. And it seems like Richie and Jane are the closest counterparts to Danny and Sandy.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if Jane is going to go through kind of a evolution where she's president of the student council. Is that what she ran for? Or president of the student body?
Yes.
So she will work on bringing Rydell into the 20th century, the 50s.
Yes.
She will also become less rigid and become more, Richie will have an influence on her in that way.
Yeah.
I also think that what if he went away and then comes back at some point, or I don't know that they're done. She and Richie, I think that is kind of, unless we are introduced to a new character, but that is kind of the guy for her. Paula,
hi. I don't know if I said this, but hi, Paula, and welcome. I think this is your first time here.
Yes.
Paula says she will choose herself and dump both guys. She doesn't need any boyfriends right now. I think that's kind of what she did.
Yeah.
Yes, she's did.
The one before, was it 8? I think she pretty much did it. And she may very well continue that, except she did make it clear finally in episode 9 that Richie is her guy. So I think we'll stay independent, but
I think she's going to take a little break from the guy situation and concentrate more on being the president of the school.
Yeah. What about, so we covered the 4 girls. How about Buddy? I think he's coming right back.
Yeah, I do too.
I hope he finds his way. He seems to be, he's been in a dark place the last couple of episodes.
Yeah, I know.
Seems to be also loosening up, trying to be a better father, a better man. Are you guys picking up on that?
Yes.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
They can come to terms with each other and make each other, better men.
And he wants to run for mayor, and I think he will. I think
Oh
he will.
yeah.
But it'll have a different platform, and hopefully we'll get to see him, his wife. We've never seen the wife.
Yeah, we haven't.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that my prediction with Buddy is I hope he cleans up and stops the drinking and starts coming to terms with
Yeah.
who he is, and you know.
Yeah.
And I think like Jane, he needs to just take a break from the girls and work on himself, what he really wants for his life.
Do you think that somebody is going to become a pink lady?
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
I think Susan's going to become a pink lady.
Yeah, I think Susan is.
I do too, because her reputation is out there. They keep making fun of her.
Yeah.
Even Buddy said, knock it off. Like he said to them that's enough. And I feel like she would be the next, I don't know, the next one. I know Hazel, there's this thing where this is a spoiler, so plug your ears. I saw behind the scenes thing where they're all approaching her to have like some kind of a conversation, but I don't think it has to do with her. Even if they offered her to be a pink lady, I don't think that she would accept.
Yeah,
I think yeah,
I agree with that.
I think Susan needs someone. I mean,
yeah,
I want her to become a pink lady just to watch her mother's head explode.
I know, and I want her to become a pink lady because she's just like them. She really needs to. Like she's really.
Yeah. Olivia's not crazy about her though.
I know.
But I think that they can reconcile.
Yeah. Yeah, because Olivia was just getting ready to kiss Gil, and she saw Susan come in, and she was like, "Oh, no!" And then she stopped her.
Think about it, Susan and Susan and Olivia actually have more in common, than either one of them have with anybody else, because both of them have their reputations trashed.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. Yeah.
Jane did too. Remember when they spread rumors and said that she was a nympho? And
oh yeah. And then all the rumors between her and Buddy.
Buddy said that they slept together. So I think I don't know. I think your prediction's correct. Go ahead.
I think it's interesting that Buddy felt the need to spread that rumor about Jane, but never said boo about Susan, and that was the truth.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
I'm wondering if Buddy and Susan may be the end game there.
I see a lot of people who are saying about Susan. Going back to Susan and Olivia not liking each other, do you remember that happened in the Grease Pink, the Grease, the first one? They would go at it. The one who Rizzo and no, because Sandy was an original one. Of course, she didn't like her. It was Rizzo, and the one that always was like, with the guys and always dressed up beautifully. I can't think of her name, and she wanted to the guy, the singer, like the TV.
Oh yeah. She was always she was always out for the older men.
Yes, I feel like those two kind of remind me of Olivia and of Rizzo. So I think it might be Marnie. Is that what her name is? Yeah.
Yes. Marty. Yeah. Maraschino. Yeah, because she was like the cherry.
Okay. Yes. They're saying Dot's her prediction to join the Pink Ladies. Maybe. I loved her nod when she went.
Have you seen Marty yet? Marty Maraschino?
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying Marty. I missed that. Which character was Marty?
She's in this. She's the one I'm talking about that would go head to head with Rizzo. And they remind me.
Which character? Is she the one that kept getting hit in the eye during the dance?
No. She's in.
From the original Grease.
Mm-hmm.
She was the one that had the hot for the guy that was
Yeah, but I thought you guys were talking about who might appear.
oh no.
Now. Oh, yeah.
No, we're talking about the original Grease.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't wait to see who is like related to who. So we know the connection with
And she is Jane's sister.
yes, and we know the connection with Rizzo and
Gil.
But I'm wondering if anybody else has some kind of a connection.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
They have to
I
because
thought there was one other one.
there is.
I thought there was.
I don't know who it is. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, this has been a really good chat. Peeps. We got one episode left.
One more episode. I can't believe it.
I know. It's sad.
I wonder how long it's going to take us to get to see episode 2, with everything going on.
Season 2.
That's what I meant to say.
Season 2, yeah.
Season 2.
I hope they're going to announce it, and I don't know.
My crown is here from my other podcast.
Oh gosh, I remember that.
Seek therapy, girl. All right, friends. Just an FYI, I reached out to the designer. I reached out to other actors again, especially because it's coming to the end. If they wanted to pop on, I would love it if it was 3 of them that wanted to pop on, but it's not that anyone said no, because no one has said no. They just didn't respond. So who knows?
Oh gosh. Well, I really hope that somebody would come on. It would be nice if we could get Chris. That would be great. But
yeah, well, that's a real absolute positively.
Yeah.
No. I really
even having Olivia would be awesome.
That would. I did reach out to her. The first time I approached her was I did the first round. It was even before we started the podcast. I mean, the episodes, the episodes coming out. Oh yes, Todd definitely would come back on. I know there are some that I will reach out definitely, but I thought people that I had not seen, it would be nice to revisit. I would love to have Todd come back on because there's so much that he can say now,
Yeah.
Yeah. And
the principal, Danny, I loved him. He was so.
And remember, folks, we still got a oh my goodness moment coming in season 10, episode 10.
But I think the oh my goodness was that they went there. They're going to get married. I think that might be what it was.
I think we might still have one coming. I can't believe they did not save a blockbuster for the last few minutes.
Oh,
it could be that they're not getting married.
Or it could be them at the chapel.
Yeah. Paula, I have every single player involved in this production, from the showrunners to the costume designers, except the only person I did not reach out to, and some more than once, would be Justin Trainer, because I didn't even attempt that. But everybody else I did more than once. So yeah. Off topic, has anyone noticed whether Olivia always wears a cross? It stood out when Mr. D tells her that he knows that she is a good Catholic girl.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
What? That she had her cross on? Yeah.
Have you tried to get beige barb on?
Yeah. I did. I thought it would be fun. I thought it would be fun to have her on, but she's filming something.
Oh.
Yep. I did that. You know that I'm very persistent. Yeah. All right, friends. Thank you for joining.
The next time we talk, I think we'll have a lot to unpack.
I just cannot believe it's going to be the last episode. They better have a season 2.
We should do something fun for the last episode, something like working our way up to it, I don't know, a cocktail.
I'm going over to the
Pink Ladies cocktail.
Think of the name of the page where our guests from last week have their
yes,
I wanna do a recipe from them.
Sean and Madeline.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a recipe from their page.
Mm.
Should we all take a different one? The three of us?
I just want diner food. I'm craving it ever since that meeting, ever since that session.
All right.
It works for me.
That's a good idea. Well, we'll talk. We'll talk about it. We'll talk. All right, friends. Thank you.
Take care.
Good night.
Have a nice long weekend.
Yes.
Memorial weekend.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.